Let's go! Let's go, everybody. Welcome to this edition of SPiTBALLiN. I am Dollar Bill. And this is the day after Super Bowl, a.k.a. the longest month in sports, which could be just a little bit longer moving forward. And, of course, you can catch us on the LESSGO Network on Facebook and YouTube, of course, and TikTok. And coming soon, really, we're leaning into the Twitter, and we'll tell you why in a few minutes. Because, when we reach the end of the Super Bowl, it's really football drops dead, and then we start to look toward the future. The NBA All-Star Game is next weekend, and, it's kind of like, it is what it is. Like, you've heard me talk about when your game doesn't have defense, you really don't have a game. So I don't put much stock into that. And then we get into March Madness. But right now, for the next couple weeks of February, it's a little bit rough. We have March Madness on the horizon. And then we would look forward to the boys of summer. But it appears that's not going to be, at least not right away. And, we have to prepare ourselves for that. So we're going to be a cold winter here on Long Island and in the sports world for a really long time. So, of course, I can give you a Super Bowl recap and say, I told you the Rams would win. I mean, that's what I do. 12-2. Matthew Stafford should have been the game's MVP. Cooper Kupp, I think he was the third best player in the field. Aaron Donald might have been second or first. I don't have a problem giving it to Kupp. But listen, who's the guy that threw it to Kupp? Who's the guy that brought the Rams back from either tied or behind in the last three playoff games to have him win them all? So much for a stat patter, right? Yes, he's not perfect in how he does it, but the future Hall of Famer. And yes, I did say Matthew Stafford, the future Hall of Famer, just gets it done. I don't care. I don't hear about holding calls. I don't want to hear about phantom flags. I don't want to hear about nothing. When it was time to be counted on a team that was at least halfway decent, or at least pretty good, Matthew Stafford delivered. And listen, no discredit to Coach Zach of the Bengals. Joe Burrow played his ass off, got crushed, kept coming, and it wasn't over until and you even saw on the last play where Donald got him. He flipped the ball, and you kind of thought he was gonna complete that pass. That's just the way Joe Burrow is. I hope he doesn't go the way of Dan Marino. And we talk about, he'll be back to a Super Bowl, and Marino never did. And the AFC is loaded, and the Bengals have some work to do to protect Joe Burrow. But listen, this isn't a reflection on him. This is no knock to him. Like, in the resume of things, in his second year, having a lead in the Super Bowl with 2 minutes to go, Joe Burrow changed the culture in Cincinnati, and that wasn't an easy thing to do. So we could go, you go anywhere else and hear the X's and the O's of the game. And maybe I'll do that a little bit later when I'm bored. But, to be honest, I'm so wiped out. We had a good party last night. For those I told you in the Long Island area down the South Levittown Lanes. We had a little TV show, a little radio show, little technical difficulties. But I want to give it up to my man, Keith Pappas, the proprietor, general manager at South Levittown Lanes. Did a fine job, fantastic job. We went to a bowling alley to have a party, but it wasn't bowling alley food. That stuff was catered. And, it was a great time had by all. The turnout could have been a little bit better. Hopefully it gets better next year. But all in all, a great night. If you're in the area, if you're on Long Island, if you need to go bowl, go see my man Keith. He's great for the bowling community. And listen, he does us a solid. Solid Super Bowl party last night. Really 5.5 hours of drinking and having fun, and I hope you guys had a little bit of fun too. But the main purpose of the show, how we're going to transition a little bit. We are in how the August is the dog days of summer. We've really reached the toughest point of the sports year. We got 2 weeks left of February. We don't know when baseball's coming, and March Madness is on the horizon, sure. But especially if you're in the New York area, and we've gone through all the sports books, and I've given you some free bets on how to maximize your dollar. How the show will transition a little bit, at least in the short term, and maybe a little bit more long term. There are plenty of places to play out there now. The New York market is the most competitive one in all of the United States in gambling, dollars, etc., etc. And, I always say in every episode of the show, whether it be a TikTok or whatever, bet with your head, not over it. These companies are giving out so much, quote, free money right now. You're able to make almost a free bet every night. Now, you might be paid back in site credit, which, again, is not perfect. But, if you make a $10 bet with real money and you lose, they give you $10 worth of site credit, you really didn't lose anything. And, we're going to start to win a little bit. And I've given you some picks along the way. And I think we're going to do a little bit more of that. The problem is when I tape a show, it goes through a little bit of an editing process. Meaning we add hashtags to it. My guys behind the scenes clean up a little bit. They don't do much editing. But they just really get it. Basically, put a header on it, a footer on it. They make it fit for YouTube or whatever. And, if you follow me on YouTube, you obviously follow me on TikTok. That's, the LESSGO Network on TikTok. And it's important to know that TikTok takes a long time when you put a video up there. So here's my thing. I want to give out picks for you. I'm pretty good at it. And I'll tell you how to manage your money. And I'll be the guy that goes through the sports books. And I'll tell you where the free bets and the way you want to put your money on a certain day. But, for me to get a TikTok video up at, a reasonable hour so it makes sense, I've got to make a pick about 8:30 in the morning. And I think that's anyone who makes a pick at 8:30 in the morning, day of, is really disingenuous and not doing you a service. In this land of COVID we live and how things can change minute by minute, these star athletes in a lot of sports, but mainly basketball, you go through a shoot around, all of a sudden they're not going to play. And I'm making picks recorded at 8:30 in the morning where I may not have all the information available to me. Now, listen, I'm not going to be perfect with all the information, but, if they're playing it 7 hours later on TikTok and it hits the air, or if it hits YouTube 4 hours later, the world may have changed in that 4 hours it came up. So we came up with a new system with the people, behind the scenes. And we're going to use Twitter to more of our advantage. And roughly at 6 p.m., give or take a little bit, we're going to start posting pics on TikTok, on Twitter. That's about an hour before tip on the East Coast games. I'm an East Coast guy. I want to give you a shot to make some money. But I will guide you along the way. And as I always say, bet with your head, not over it. If you can't afford to lose, then you can't afford to bet. And, I try and make money for you. I try to entertain you and enlighten you. And in return, I ask you to like and subscribe to my channel and tell your friends if I do a good job. And if the feedback has been mostly good, obviously it's never going to be 100%. If I'm doing a perfect job, then I don't have the right people listening. I need to be pushed like everyone does in life. If you're told you're so good, that's not really good. It's an echo chamber. You always need that no man in life, Every successful person in the business world or in entertainment has that person that likes to say no. And everyone needs one of those. So in the coming, let's say the foreseeable future, for at least the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to be going on the gaming aspect of sports because really, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about NFL free agency right away? I want to talk about baseball, but, the offseason is incomplete and the regular season is, frankly, nowhere in sight right now. We'll talk a little college football, a lot of college basketball, Not a whole lot to say, but, just want to give you a heads up on how the show will be trending. And hopefully all is good by you. So listen, I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. Hope you made some money. Hope you had some fun. From now on, we will show you how the show is trending a little bit. Please like and subscribe. Now it's more important than ever to follow us on Twitter. If you're into the pick kind of thing and how to manage your money, Twitter's going to be the way to go. You'll always be able to hear us on the LESSGO Network on YouTube. But like for up-to-date information, that's how I'm going to get out there. And, of course, my little funny TikTok videos, which, I like doing in the morning. But, if I'm going to ask you guys to take your hard-earned money and put it on a game, then I got to have more information, and I got to do right by you. But, again, you're getting it for free. But, there are a lot of things in life you can break. I don't like breaking my word. And my word is sacred. And I try and give you my best every day. So, I just can't make a pick on TikTok if they're going to post it 8 hours late. I just can't do it. So, Twitter's the way to go. 6 p.m. most nights. I won't have a pick every day. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. But that's the end of Spitballing today. Tomorrow we'll talk about the Super Bowl. We'll go a full recap, and we're getting into more of the betting aspect of it. We'll take the day off today. So this is Dollar Bill reminding you to try and make some common sense out of your sports and your life. Catch you next time on Spitballing, guys. Bye.